ask whether you are doing an orthodontist will do. So is it necessary to tell them that we are not qualified, like we have not a MDS degree, but we do ortho? Like, is it necessary to elaborate?
What's your name?
Aditi.
Dr. Aditi. See, if somebody is specifically asking you a question about your qualification, one has to be very honest and upright. That this is my qualification, but I'm competent to do this. If you feel like having faith in me, I'll do this. If you feel that no, I must not do it, I won't do it. Like for example, if a lawyer is simple LLB, he has not done masters into, suppose, corporate laws or commercial laws, but a commercial matter comes to him and the client specifically asks, are you having some degree into corporate law? So naturally, if he doesn't have, he has to say no. And if he says that, but still will you argue? Of course I will. But it's you to decide whether you want to engage me or not. So Dr. Aditi, it's simply that if the patient is asking, you must be honest and upright.
And if he is not asking?
If he is not asking, you're doing your job.
Okay.
Don't spoil that job. That's it.
There is a post on social media which says Union Health Ministry has signed the petition which says stop unethical course in fixed orthodontics.
Because may be possible that he is intending to quacks. Who doesn't have that qualification which they are doing.
So myself, Dr. Mahesh, my question is regarding the consent. So by law, is it necessary that we must have the informed consent? Second thing, if anything goes wrong, that consent in the court can be, does it have any weightage? Because sometimes patient might say that I didn't understand it. So is it necessary that it has to be in his mother tongue? And even though if it is in his mother tongue, can he deny ki I didn't understand anything? So we have to incorporate some specific words into it.
Whether it has any evidentiary value in the court of law or not. Yes, it does have. Because ultimately it's a document having a signature of either the patient himself or some adult accomplice on behalf of the patient. So it does have evidentiary. Your third question was whether it has to be in their native language or not. Even if it is not in the native language, it must have a declaration at the end of the consent that it is explained to me in my native language. Read and explained to me in my. So if this declaration in English is also there, that before signing, I was informed in my native language to my full understanding what is written here and above. And I signed voluntarily without any coercion or undue influence. So that will suffice that situation where the person had the informed consent. That in our country, there is no law which prohibits a person from initiating a complaint. Anybody can lodge a complaint against anybody. The whole legal system is that how to successfully defend yourself against these false forged complaints. So if your documents are in place, that false complaint will fall flat. So therefore, these documents must be in place. But they are not foolproof that Once this is a document in place, nobody can lodge a complaint against me. Yes, anybody can lodge, but then I'm confident that don't lodge it. I have evidence which will falsify your complaint.
In case they registered a complaint against us and we didn't have the consent, in that scenario, what can happen?
Then you have me.
Means that
Informed lawyer.
no,
Consent or no consent, Chaturvedi Sahib is always with you.
no sir. Why I'm asking this, because as Akshay sir said that he has not taken consent since last 20 years. So even in the area
And
that
most of his competence.
no, hats off to him for that. But the area in which I practice, because there is no that trend of getting the consent signed. So when I started it, the many people started ki what saying ki अरे ये क्या है, किस पे sign ले रहे
What
हो?
is that area?
Means I'm practicing in Rahuri, it is near Shirdi.
Okay.
So it was very difficult for me to get the consent also, and I'm afraid from legal point of view, if something goes wrong and somebody files a complaint against me, then I don't have anything to defend myself. That's why.
No, that's what I'm saying, that even if there is no document in place, suppose you're finding it difficult to obtain consent of the patients, instead of choosing to sign that consent letter, they are choosing to run away. And
It's called as oral consent, sir. Actually, when you
and affecting your practice. So to avoid them running away, you're saying, all right, without consent, I'm going to operate upon you. And in case somebody lodges a complaint against you, even then, you can be successfully defended.
That's what I'm.
So, rest assured that with that piece of paper or no piece of paper. Any other
Sir,
question?
my question is regarding the audio visual records. Can it stand in the court? Like
Of?
CCTV camera and audio records. Is it
they do.
helpful?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. After the amendment of Indian Evidence Act by IT Act 2000, so since 2000, since the year 2000, all the audio visual digital records are admissible evidence.
Or even the messages.
I'm sorry,
In some cases, even the messages are also.
what messages?
फोन पे जो हम लोग मैसेजेस करते हैं
SMS.
SMS
WhatsApp,
sometimes हाँ
Of course, yes.
they
WhatsApp,
also stand.
WhatsApp,
Photographs,
SMS,
हाँ.
photographs, all that is admissible evidence after 2000.
Yeah, I have a question. Non-payment of the decided fees for a particular treatment, not paid by the patient, and the patient has to put some allegation on the doctor. Does that point stand somewhere?
Which is a very common phenomenon. What's your good name?
Dr. Chinmay.
Dr. Chinmay, this is very common phenomenon. That those who do not want to pay choose to make an allegation. So that there is a pressure being built on a doctor and he compromises, all right, तुम allegation withdraw करो, मैं fees withdraw कर लेता हूँ. So it's a very, very common phenomenon, Chinmay.
But if the patient has not paid, doesn't allegation stand, or does it have a point in law that you may have not given the decided sum to the amount? Yeah, can it be a beneficial point for a doctor?
No. I'll tell you. Suppose if you're taking it as a defense of tomorrow in the court of law, that was your position. right?
Yes.
That he cannot make an allegation because he has not paid my fee. So I do not think that this defense will stand. There can be other defenses for his against his allegation, but this
Particular point.
this defense that now this allegation cannot stand because the fee is not paid.
estimate itself diluted.
And writing down the balance amount will solve the problem.
Giving the bill.
Bill
Uh,
for this treatment.
Uh,
Receipt, yeah. and writing down the balance
Advance
amount
paid and balance is this much, like that.
and the patient
Bill is
sign
given.
on it.
This is better.
Yeah,
That's
that will
what-
solve
That
the
also
problem.
will-
This is better because then you have a claim.
Yeah.
But again, I'm telling you, this is for your recovery of
Yeah.
the money,
Intention is to recover.
but not as a defense of your wrong treatment. Non-payment of money cannot be a defense of your negligence or wrongdoing against that allegation. You can definitely defend that allegation on any other plank, but non-payment plank will not stand.
Sir, I heard Dr. Rathi said regarding this place, running a clinic. Even I am running a clinic in a residential place. So, can anyone, the society, object to running a dental clinic in a society residential premises?
They normally do.
So, but sir, legally, what is it?
If your question is, can they do?
No, no, no. But then, sir, legally,
Can we practice in residential building?
Yes, you can.
can I run
Your
a?
question
Yeah.
was that can
Yeah.
they lodge
Yeah,
an
yeah.
objection? I just said that anybody can lodge any objection, any
Yeah.
claim, anything. But
How
as
do
far
we
as
defend?
I'm sorry.
We can defend such in such situation.
Yes, you can defend.
Yes.
Why I'll tell you the law in place. As far as Bombay is concerned, the DC regulations specifically mention that even in a residential premises, there are certain exceptions which can be done, not the business or trade or commerce. In those exceptions, the dental clinic is also mentioned. But what has been the condition for that is that it is subject to the condition that it should be up to a specific area. So there's specific, because Bombay is divided into residential zones, commercial zones, industrial zones. So in a residential zone, in a residential premises, the dental clinic can be operated subject to certain conditions. So, your question, can they object? They do object. But then that can be defended because the law puts you into those exceptional categories. But subject to such, it's not unconditional, subject to certain conditions.